The Halo 1 story begins. Reach was an entire planet that has military bases and pioneers, farmers and structures, and there's something going on. There are Spartans there, and we know that the only Spartan that escaped the battle for Reach was Master Chief. Here's a story of what happened to another group of Spartans, the Noble Team.
This our new number 6? Affirmative. You picked a hell of a day to join up.
There were 6 Spartans in Noble Team, and this is what their story was during the battle for Reach. In a 3-year development cycle like this, we probably spend almost a year of pre-production, and then it's basically 2 years of production and 2 weeks of post-production. When we're doing a final mix for the game, essentially it's JNC Paul and I sitting in this room. I've got the controller in my hand, and I'm just playing through the game. And I'm running around, I'm meleeing things, I'm driving everything I can drive, I'm throwing grenades at everything, I'm pushing every crate and barrel I can. And I'm just listening to how does this all mix together. And what happens at the end is we have the ability to change the balance of a sound class against another sound class. Vehicles, looping ambient sounds, music, footsteps, weapons, reloads.
I generally have a laptop up that's connected to my dev PC, and as we collaboratively make choices about what we want to change and how we should alter this, I can be making those changes on the fly, and then when we're done we can say, okay, let's take a break for 10 minutes and I can rebuild the level that we just played and push it to the Xbox that we're playing on, and we can go back and test those changes and make sure that everything works. It's sort of a process of slowly getting rid of the lumpiness of the game and trying to make it as smooth as possible. We always want more time. Eventually they just drag us away from our desks, kicking and screaming.
Well, we've had a tool in our tool belt for a long time. We call it the Stripey Room, and it's evolved over the years, and now it's just this really long corridor that has every single material type that's used in the game. So we can drop every character, vehicle, weapon, test the way they fire, how they explode, how the shell casings sound when they're dropped on sand, when they're dropped on grass. I go in there all the time, the guys go in there all the time to test doors opening, to test materials against other materials. And then at the same time I can also play the music in there too, and I just get a good sense of what does this piece sound like when I'm driving a tank and shooting the tank, and what do these characters' voices sound like, and what does different reverb properties sound like. So it's just a big test audio environment.
Struts disengaged. Commencing launch in T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2.
What we have in this scene is the jet in the background because you're riding this big old rocket ship, and you've got a little bit of cockpit sound because it's an interior shot, and then you got various layers of rattling. So the first layer is the jets on your ship. The second layer is the sound of the inside of your cockpit, so kind of a whine, an internal whine. The next 3 layers are various rattles. I have this recording of me shaking the desk in the voiceover booth that I tend to use to make things that rattle sound more rattly. And it's amazing how well that works. Like, hey, here's a lamp and some headphones, and I'm just going to shake this desk around with a microphone. Yeah, so it's kind of fun.
First stage engine burn nominal.
We're trying to make a darker and grittier game. That's been the mantra from the beginning, is we want it to feel darker and feel more ominous.
When JNC Paul and I sat down and talked about how we wanted to do sound design for Reach, there was absolutely nothing that we weren't going to touch. Everything got either reworked from the ground up, or if we started with something that we thought was working pretty well in the past, we would build on it.
We really need to feel the sense of danger throughout, and once you know that the gig is up and that the Covenant are on Reach, from that point onwards you're hearing battle around you all the time.
There's a fan base out there, millions of fans that are used to, like, this is how the pistol should sound and this is how the battle rifle should sound.
If you line up all 5 plasma rifles alongside each other, you know, they all look sort of like the plasma rifle, and we need to do the same thing with the sound.
There's 4 parts to what makes the Halo grenade sound like the Halo grenade. One is a monofile that plays from the point where the grenade is exploded. The second part of the Halo grenade sound is a surround layer that plays based on whether you're inside or you're outside, and that's a quad audio file that plays. The third part is another quad file that's sort of this low thump that plays as it gets closer and closer to you. So a grenade that's 50 feet away, you won't get it at all. And then the fourth part is the grenade effect. If a grenade hits close enough to hurt you, depending on how much it hurts you, you'll lose your ability to hear sound around you for a certain amount of time, up to 3 or 4 seconds.
As far as musical themes goes, I knew that I still wanted to have sort of the feeling of the Halo trilogy, but I didn't want to do a whole lot of rearranging or revisiting the themes that I had used for the trilogy. It was its own planet, its own story. I hint at a few themes, not like these are the beginnings of these themes that get more blown out later on, but it's really just, I just want to remind people that this is still a Halo story. But for the most part, it's all completely brand new music. I'm not even in E Dorian, I'm in G Phrygian for the most part, and related keys, and it had a whole different feel for just about everything.
Audio in general is not easy, so audio for movies or audio for games or audio for video games versus TV, none of this stuff is easy. Games definitely have a set of challenges that no other medium has. My game engine is juggling somewhere in the neighborhood of 60,000 plus audio assets during the course of the game.
It's probably one of the most complex things that I've ever worked on. It is really like a giant jigsaw puzzle, and just organizing all the pieces and then seeing them all come together at the end is really satisfying. And it's just making audio and entertainment in a brand new way. This interactive environment is new, and it's very satisfying to continue to advance this medium.